In the deepest, darkest moments, when doubt gnaws at your mind and fear takes hold of your every thought, you'll find yourself standing at a crossroads. And right there, in that moment, you have a choice. You can give in. You can fall back into the arms of comfort. You can press that snooze button. You can stay in bed just a little longer and let another day slip away. Or you can rise. You can rise with every ounce of what you've got. And trust me, it will take every ounce. You will have to dig deep and take everything you have, every last drop of energy, and pour it into your vision, into your goals. So what happens if you don't give it everything you've got? If you give in to your doubts, if you decide to stay down and quit pushing forward, you know what happens. You cut your family short. You cut everyone who believes in you short. But more than that, you cut yourself short. You rob yourself of the life you were destined to live. The one you dream of when the lights go out. When you close your eyes and envision what could be. You have seen it, haven't you? The vision of success, the vision of yourself, strong, unstoppable, and powerful. But without action, without sweat, without the willingness to sacrifice, that vision is just a fantasy. And that fantasy will remain a fantasy until you step up and demand it. You want that life? You want the life of freedom, of success, of limitless possibilities? Then level up. It's time. There is no easy way, no shortcuts, no cheat codes. You have to earn it. It'll require everything. There are no rest days. There's no time to sleep in, to waste. You have to wake up every day and grind. Even when your body is screaming for rest. Even when your mind is telling you that you've given enough. Even when the world is falling apart around you, you stand. You show up. You give it everything. You show up when it's raining. You show up when it's snowing. You show up when you're tired, when you're sick, when you feel broken. You show up. You give your best. You sweat. You bleed. You cry. You puke. You do whatever it takes to make sure that no day is wasted. And that's the price of success. This isn't for the weak. This isn't for the ones who sit around waiting for motivation. This isn't for the ones who talk about their dreams, but never take action. If you want to stand among the few who rise to the top, then you must learn the hardest truth of all. There is no success without sacrifice. And if you're not willing to sacrifice, if you're not willing to endure pain, discomfort, and frustration, then you're not ready. You have to put in the work. You have to fight when it feels impossible. You have to fight when you don't feel like it. Every single day. So, what happens if you don't? What happens if you refuse to fight? If you refuse to go after what's yours? You're not going to feel relief. You're not going to feel free. You're going to feel regret. You're going to feel that empty void deep within you, gnawing at you, telling you that you could have been more, you could have done more. But you chose to give in. You chose to stay where you were. And that dream, that burning desire inside you, it's not going anywhere. It stays with you. But if you do nothing, if you let fear and doubt rule you, you'll die with that dream inside you. Buried, forgotten, never realized. But if you rise, if you decide that today is the day you fight, that today is the day you make a change, then you are on the path to becoming something unstoppable. You want success? Then you fight for it every day. You wake up with purpose. You wake up with fire. And you carry that fire with you into everything you do. You think this is going to be easy? You think success is going to come to you just because you wish for it? No. No. No one is coming to save you. No one is handing you anything. You will have to suffer for it. You will have to push through moments that will break you. You'll have to deal with failure. You'll have to deal with pain. You'll have to deal with defeat. But here's the thing. It's in those defeats, in those moments when everything seems like it's falling apart, that your greatest growth happens. Those defeats, they will shape you into something far greater than you ever imagined. Every failure, every setback, every ounce of pain, it's all shaping you into the warrior you are meant to be. And if you think for a second that you can just sit back and wait for things to happen, you're dead wrong. You're running from your own success right now. You're afraid of the work. You're afraid of the sacrifice. You're afraid of what you might become when you finally unlock your potential. You have it in the palm of your hand, but you're too afraid to grab it. But that fear is exactly what will make you stronger. Embrace it. Use it. You have everything you need to succeed. Your mind, your vision, your dream. These are the tools you need to create the life you've always wanted. See it. Believe it. You have to see it first. You have to visualize yourself winning. You have to see yourself at the top. And if you truly believe it, if you truly see yourself as the one who wins, then you will fight through every single barrier. You'll fight through every single obstacle. Nothing will be able to stop you. But belief is just the start. Belief without action is nothing. You have to move. You have to act. You have to execute. And when it gets tough, when you feel like you can't go on, that's when you fight harder. When everyone else is quitting, when they've given up, that's when you double down. Because the warriors who rise are the ones who push through when no one else will. They rise because they refuse to stay down. And you can rise too. But it will require everything. Life will throw everything at you. It will test you. It will push you to the brink. You will face obstacles. You will face hardships. You will be crushed under the weight of your own doubts. But you can't quit. You can't give up. When it feels like you can't take anymore, when it feels like everything is lost, that's when you dig deeper. That's when the real strength comes out. The world doesn't owe you anything. You owe it to yourself to fight for everything you want. No one will hand you success. No one will hand you happiness. No one will give you the life you want. You have to build it. You have to create it from nothing. And that process, it will take every ounce of your blood, sweat, and tears. That's the price of success. And here's the real question. Are you willing to pay it? Are you willing to sacrifice everything? Your comfort, your fears, your doubts, so that you can live the life you know you were meant to? Are you ready to give everything? Because this isn't for the faint of heart. This is for the ones who are ready to rise, to fight, and to conquer. This is for the warriors. And if that's you, if you're ready to step into the battle, then there's nothing that can stop you. Nothing in this world will stand in your way if you refuse to back down. But you have to choose that path. You have to choose to fight. Today. Lesson 1. Embrace the power of vision. Objective. Learn to visualize your success, embody it, and use it as the fuel to push through doubt and fear. Overview. Vision is the foundation of everything. Without it, you'll wander aimlessly, tossed by the winds of doubt and indecision. With a clear and powerful vision, you gain focus, direction, and enough as a tangible reality, even before it exists. Your mind is the first battleground, and if you can control it, you can control everything that follows. Key concepts. Visualization as a tool for success. Visualization is not simply wishful thinking. It's a powerful tool that your mind can use to prepare for your success, to mentally rehearse the actions you will take, and to reinforce your belief that your goals are achievable. You are laying the foundation for your future reality by training your mind to see it before it exists. When you visualize your success, you start to move with intention. It becomes less of a what if and more of a when. Implementation steps. Set aside time every morning to visualize yourself achieving your goal. Picture yourself in vivid detail, how it feels, what you see, the emotions you experience. Visualize yourself at the peak of your success, not just the end, but every step of the way, including the challenges you will face and the actions you will take to overcome them. The power of focused imagination. Your imagination is not just for entertainment. It's one of the most powerful tools you have for creating your reality. When you focus on a clear vision and allow that vision to occupy your thoughts, your mind begins to work toward making it a reality. Your actions will align with your thoughts, and your mind will identify opportunities that you would have otherwise missed. Focusing your imagination on success rewires your brain to act in ways that will bring that success closer. Implementation. Steps. Create a mental image of success. What does it look like? What does it feel like? Write down your vision in vivid detail. Create a visual representation or vision board to keep in front of you as a daily reminder. Each time doubt creeps in, return to your mental image. See it clearly in your mind. Feel it in your heart, seeing yourself as already successful. The key to manifestation is to see yourself as already the person you need to be to accomplish your goal. If you don't believe that you are capable of achieving it now, then you will never act in a way that aligns with that belief. It's not about wishing for success. It's about knowing you will succeed and embodying that success in the present. The more you see yourself as already having succeeded, the more your actions will follow that belief. Implementation. Steps. Take time each day to see yourself as the person you aspire to be. When you wake up, ask yourself, what would the successful version of me do today? Act as if your success is inevitable. Your thoughts, actions, and decisions should reflect the confidence that you already have everything you need to succeed. Challenge. Morning visualization practice. For 1 week, commit to spending at least 10 minutes every morning visualizing yourself achieving your goal. Do this before you check your phone, before you let outside influences distract you. In this sacred time, only focus on the vision of your success. Write your vision. Write down your vision for success in vivid detail. Create a success manifesto where you describe what your life will look like when you achieve your goals. Read this daily, and with each reading, make sure it feels more real. Allow yourself to become emotionally connected to the words. Affirmations. Every time doubt creeps in, use affirmations to remind yourself that your success is not only possible, but inevitable. For example, I am already successful, and every step I take is bringing me closer to my goals. Say these affirmations out loud, with conviction. Your vision is the map to your success. The clearer it is, the more intentional your journey will be. Don't wait for success to find you. Don't wait for the world to change. Create your vision, live it, and watch it unfold. Every day you step forward with your vision in mind. You are not just imagining success. You are becoming the person who achieves it. Lesson 2. Stop waiting for motivation. Create discipline. Objective. Shift your mindset from waiting for motivation to creating your own discipline. Understanding that lasting success is built through consistent, daily effort, not fleeting bursts of inspiration. Overview. Motivation is unreliable. Some days you'll feel fired up and ready to conquer the world. Other days, you'll feel like you're walking through quicksand. If you rely on motivation alone, you'll never achieve the consistent results necessary for success. The key to long-term growth is discipline, the ability to show up and do the work, even when you don't feel like it. Discipline is the true separator between those who succeed and those who falter. It's not about waiting for the right moment, the right inspiration, or the right feeling. It's about committing to the process and making it non-negotiable. Key concepts. Motivation is fleeting. Discipline is unshakable. Motivation can be like a wave. It can crash into you, giving you a surge of energy and focus, but it can also fade just as quickly. If you wait for motivation to hit, you might never take action. Discipline, on the other hand, is a constant. It's the commitment to taking action no matter how you feel. When motivation is absent, discipline is what keeps you going. It's the backbone of success, the fuel that drives you to push through the days when the world feels like it's working against you. Implementation. Steps. Start by identifying one task or habit that you want to build discipline around. Choose something that will have a significant impact on your goals, such as daily exercise, writing, studying, or working on your business. Make it non-negotiable. Decide that no matter how you feel, you will do this task every day. This commitment should be unconditional. There is no tomorrow or later. If it's part of your routine, you do it. No excuses. Track your progress. Keep a daily log or journal of your actions, noting when you followed through and when you didn't. This not only holds you accountable, but reinforces the habit. Building consistency over time. Discipline isn't about forcing yourself to work 24/7 or pushing through at all costs. It's about creating small, consistent actions that over time lead to massive results. Just like building muscle, consistency compounds over time. Each small action, done consistently, builds the foundation for success. One day of discipline doesn't change much, but a year of consistent, disciplined effort transforms your life. Implementation steps. Break your larger goals into small, manageable tasks that you can do every single day. These tasks should take a manageable amount of time, and you should be able to do them without feeling overwhelmed. Daily commitment. Commit to doing one small task each day. Even if it's just 15 minutes, make sure you do it every day without fail. This is your daily minimum, and it becomes part of your routine. Don't aim for perfection. Aim for consistency. If you miss a day, don't dwell on it. Acknowledge it, then get back on track the next day. The goal is to never stop, even if you stumble. How to develop mental toughness. Mental toughness is the ability to keep pushing forward, despite discomfort, adversity, or setbacks. It's a crucial element of discipline. When you push through challenges, you develop resilience. Your mental strength grows as you learn to ignore distractions, push past emotional resistance, and do what needs to be done, regardless of how you feel. Implementation. Steps. Embrace discomfort. Start pushing yourself out of your comfort zone regularly. Whether it's physical, like working out, or mental, like tackling a challenging project, choose activities that stretch your limits. Create a morning routine. Begin each day with a routine that sets the tone for discipline. This can include stretching, journaling, or tackling a difficult task right away. Having a morning routine that prioritizes discipline helps you maintain control over your day from the start. Develop mental resilience. Every time you want to quit or avoid a task, practice pushing through it. For example, when working out, push through that last rep, even though your body wants to quit. When faced with a hard decision, choose the option that requires the most discipline, not the one that feels easier. Challenge. Non-negotiable daily action. Choose one task that will take you closer to your goal and make it non-negotiable for the next 30 days. This could be working out for 20 minutes each day, reading a chapter of a book, or spending 30 minutes. Commit to it daily, no exceptions. Write it down, put it on your calendar, and make sure it happens no matter what. The key is consistency, not perfection. Track your daily discipline. For the next 30 days, track your actions. Create a simple chart or journal where you mark off each day that you follow through on your non-negotiable task. Reflect on any challenges you face and how you overcame them. At the end of each week, review your progress to see how discipline has built momentum. Push beyond resistance. Choose one area where you consistently give in to resistance, whether it's procrastination, laziness, or fear, and actively push through it. This could be something small, like getting up early to work out, or something big, like writing that first chapter of your book. Each time you push through the resistance, remind yourself that you're building mental toughness. Discipline is the bridge between where you are now and where you want to be. It's not about waiting for the right mood, the right day, or the right conditions. It's about committing to the process, showing up every single day, and refusing to quit. Motivation will come and go, but discipline will keep you moving forward. If you want to be successful, it's not enough to feel motivated. You have to create a system of discipline that drives you even when you don't feel like it. Every small, consistent step you take adds up to something powerful. Keep moving, no matter what. Lesson 3. Build strength through suffering. Objective. Understand that discomfort and suffering are essential for growth. Embrace challenges instead of avoiding them, knowing that your greatest strength is built through enduring and overcoming adversity. Overview. Most people spend their lives avoiding discomfort. We avoid pain, hardship, and struggle because we associate these things with failure or weakness. But the truth is, the greatest achievements, the most significant transformations, and the deepest personal growth come from facing and overcoming suffering. Success doesn't come from avoiding challenges. It comes from embracing them, learning from them, and allowing them to shape you into someone stronger, tougher, and more resilient. In fact, the more you resist discomfort, the less growth you'll experience. True growth happens only when you step outside your comfort zone, confront the obstacles that stand in your way, and press forward despite the pain. Key concepts. Growth happens outside your comfort zone. If you want to become someone who achieves greatness, you have to stop running from discomfort. Comfort is where dreams go to die. The only way to grow is to deliberately push yourself beyond your current limits. Every time you push yourself through pain or difficulty, you expand your capabilities. You become more than you were yesterday. It is in moments of challenge and hardship that you find your true potential. Implementation steps. Identify your comfort zone. Take a staying comfortable in your life. Is it in your career, in your relationships, in your personal development. Write down the areas where you tend to avoid discomfort. Choose a challenge. Select one area where you will intentionally push yourself outside of your comfort zone. This could be anything from taking on a difficult project, confronting a personal fear, or physically pushing your body further than it's ever been. Embrace discomfort daily. Each day, challenge yourself in small ways. If you're working on fitness, try pushing your limits with your workout. If you're focused on personal development, confront something you've been avoiding, like speaking up or taking risks in your career. Pain is temporary, but growth is forever. Suffering is inevitable, but how you view it will determine its impact on your life. Every time you experience pain, whether it's emotional, physical, or mental, you have a choice. Either let it defeat you or use it as a stepping stone toward greater strength. Pain, when endured and properly channeled, is one of the most powerful tools you have for growth. It teaches you resilience, perseverance, and the ability to overcome anything. When you learn to embrace the pain and discomfort, you start to see it as part of the process, not something to avoid. Implementation. Steps. Reframe your mindset about pain. Every time you experience discomfort, remind yourself that this pain is temporary and necessary for your growth. Instead of seeing it as something to fear, see it as an opportunity to strengthen your character and expand your abilities. Create a mantra. Develop a phrase or mantra that you can say to yourself when you're going through tough moments. Something like, "This pain is temporary, and it is making me stronger," can serve as a powerful reminder during tough times. Reflect on your progress. After a challenging experience, take the time to reflect. Ask yourself what you learned and how the pain shaped you. This reflection helps you see the value in suffering and reminds you that each struggle builds the person you're becoming. Mental toughness comes from pushing through the struggle. Mental toughness is the ability to keep moving forward, even when everything inside you is telling you to quit. It's built through consistent exposure to challenges and through developing the ability to keep going, no matter how hard it gets. The more often you push through adversity, the stronger your mental fortitude becomes. Just like physical strength, mental toughness is something you build over time by facing difficulty and refusing to let it break you. Implementation. Steps. Start small. Mental toughness doesn't happen overnight. Begin by challenging yourself in small ways. For example, if you're working out, finish your set even when it feels impossible. If you're working on a project, keep going even when you hit a roadblock. Visualize strength. When you're faced with a challenge, take a moment to visualize yourself pushing through it. See yourself overcoming obstacles, staying calm, and remaining focused. This mental rehearsal strengthens your resolve. Seek out challenges. Make it a point to seek out opportunities that will push your limits. Whether it's taking on a difficult task, entering a competition, or facing something you fear, actively seek out challenges that will make you stronger. Challenge. Daily discomfort. Challenge. For the next 14 days, find one thing every day that pushes you outside of your comfort zone. This could be a physical challenge, like pushing through a difficult workout, a mental challenge, like tackling a task you've been procrastinating, or an emotional challenge, like confronting a difficult conversation. Embrace it fully and reflect on how it made you stronger. Push past your limits. Choose one area where you consistently feel weak or where you tend to give up when things get tough. Whether it's running, reading, or working on a personal goal, push yourself to go beyond your normal limits. If you normally run for 20 minutes, push for 25. If you normally work for an hour, push for 15 more minutes. Every time you hit a wall, push through it and see what happens. Embrace a no-quit mindset. Every time you feel like giving up on something, whether it's a project, a workout, or a goal, commit to pushing through it for an additional 10 minutes. Tell yourself that quitting is not an option. Use this practice to build mental resilience and develop the habit of finishing what you start. Final thought. Suffering and discomfort are not enemies. They are the crucible in which you are forged. Every time you push through the pain, every time you confront the hardship, you are becoming stronger, more resilient, and more capable of achieving greatness. The greater the challenge, the greater the strength you will gain from it. Success doesn't come to the ones who avoid difficulty. It comes to those who embrace it, use it as a tool, and rise to meet it head-on. The strength you need to achieve your goals is built in the fire of adversity. So let it burn. Let it shape you into someone who cannot be defeated. Lesson 4. Focus on execution, not excuses. Objective. Learn to prioritize action over hesitation, execution over procrastination, and progress over perfection. Stop making excuses and start getting things done. Overview. Many people spend their lives dreaming of success, but they never take the necessary steps to make it happen. They wait for the perfect time, the right moment, or the ideal conditions. But the truth is, the perfect moment never arrives. The road to success is paved with consistent action, even when it's not convenient, even when conditions aren't ideal, and even when you don't feel like it. Execution is the key. It's the difference between those who achieve their goals and those who merely talk about them. Focusing on execution means taking action, even when the circumstances aren't perfect, and pushing forward despite uncertainty, doubt, or fear. It's about taking steps, no matter how small, toward your goal, every single day. Key concepts. Execution is the bridge between ideas and reality. Ideas are plentiful. We all have them. Visions, goals, dreams. But ideas are meaningless without execution. Success doesn't come from thinking about what you want to do. It comes from doing it. Many people spend their time planning, refining, and tweaking their ideas to perfection. While planning is important, it should never overshadow execution. A plan without action is simply a wish. Real progress only happens when you commit to execution and follow through, no matter what. Implementation steps. Stop waiting for perfection. If you are waiting for everything to align perfectly before taking action, you will wait forever. Start now with what you have and make adjustments along the way. The best time to start is now, not later. Break down your goals into actionable steps. Instead of focusing on your end goal, break it down into small, manageable actions you can take every day. Every task you complete, no matter how small, is one step closer to achieving your dream. Commit to action. At the end of each day, reflect on the actions you've taken. If you didn't take any action, ask yourself why. Then commit to taking at least one step the next day, no matter how small. Excuses keep you stuck. Execution moves you forward. Excuses are the silent killers of progress. We all make them. Too tired, too busy, not the right time, not enough resources. But every excuse is a barrier that stands between you and your success. The more you make excuses, the more you stay stuck in the same place. Excuses are often rooted in fear. Fear of failure, fear of judgment, or fear of discomfort. But if you want to succeed, you must stop letting fear dictate your actions. You must choose execution over hesitation, regardless of how you feel in the moment. Implementation steps. Identify your excuses. Take note of the excuses you make when you fail to act. Are they based on fear or procrastination? Once you identify them, challenge each excuse. Ask yourself if it's truly valid, or if it's just your mind trying to protect you from discomfort. Replace excuses with solutions. For every excuse, come up with a solution. For example, if you say, "I don't have time," ask yourself, "How can I make time for this?" If you say, "I don't have the resources," ask, "What resources do I already have? And how can I use them to get started?" Start small. If you're overwhelmed, start with small tasks. The key is to start somewhere, no matter how insignificant the first step might seem. Momentum comes from action, and once you take that first step, it will be easier to take the next one. Action creates momentum. Momentum creates results. When you take action, even if it's just a little bit at a time, you begin to build momentum. Momentum is one of the most powerful forces you can harness. Once you get moving, it becomes easier to continue moving. The more you execute, the more confident you become in your ability to succeed, and the more motivated you'll feel. The key is to stop waiting for the right moment and just take action. Execution breeds confidence, and confidence breeds success. Implementation steps. Create a daily action plan. Every day, write down the most important tasks you need to accomplish. Prioritize them and commit to completing them. Even if you only have 30 minutes to work, use that time to move forward. Commit to at least one action step every day. No matter how small, make sure that you take one step toward your goal every day. This could be sending an email, writing a page, making a call, or doing a quick workout. The key is consistency. Celebrate small wins. Every time you complete a task, take a moment to acknowledge your progress. This celebration reinforces positive behavior and boosts your motivation to continue. Perfection is the enemy of progress. Many people never finish what they start because they're waiting for perfection. They refine, adjust, and tweak endlessly, convinced that they can always improve it. The truth is, perfection doesn't exist. There will always be something more to improve. Waiting for perfection prevents you from getting started and slows your momentum. Accept that progress is more important than perfection. Done is better than perfect. Execution is the key to making progress. Once you take action, you can refine, adjust, and improve along the way. Implementation steps. Give yourself permission to be imperfect. Understand that the first version of your work is not going to be perfect, and that's okay. Your focus should be on getting it done, not on making it flawless. Set deadlines. Commit to finishing tasks within a certain time frame, even if they're not perfect. A deadline forces you to take action and prevents you from getting stuck in endless refinement. Refine as you go. Once you start executing, you'll find ways to improve. Keep moving forward and don't wait for the perfect conditions. You can always make adjustments as you learn from your mistakes and successes. Challenge. The Action First Challenge. For the next 14 days, commit to taking at least one action toward your goal every single day. Even if it's small, make closer to your dream. Do not let any excuse prevent you from taking action. Track your execution. Keep a daily log of the actions you take. This helps you see how much you're accomplishing, builds momentum, and keeps you accountable. At the end of each week, review your progress and evaluate what worked and what didn't. This will help you stay focused and make adjustments as needed. The done is better than perfect challenge. Choose one project or task that you've been delaying because you're waiting for it to be perfect. Finish it and release it into the world, even if it's not perfect. Remind yourself that progress is better than perfection. Final thought. The only thing that separates you from your goals is action. You can dream, plan, and strategize, but if you don't execute, you won't make any progress. Execution is everything. Stop waiting for the perfect moment, the right feeling, or the right conditions. The time to act is now. Every small step you take today adds up to massive results over time. And as you take action consistently, you'll not only move closer to your goals, you'll build the momentum and confidence needed to continue pushing forward until you achieve everything you set out to do. Lesson 5. Build resilience through defeat. Objective. Understand that failure is not the end, but a necessary part of the growth process. Learn how to use defeat as a catalyst for building resilience, and understand that every setback is an opportunity for greater strength, wisdom, and growth. Overview. Failure is inevitable. Everyone who has achieved success has faced setbacks, failures, and moments of defeat. Yet so many people view failure as something to avoid, something to fear, or something that signifies the end of the road. The truth is, failure is a part of the journey, and it's one of the most powerful tools for growth. Without failure, there is no growth. Without hardship, there is no transformation. The key is not to avoid defeat, but to embrace it, learn from it, and use it to fuel your resilience. Resilience is built through facing adversity and refusing to let it break you. It's not about never falling. It's about how you get back up every time you do. Key concepts. Failure is inevitable. Embrace it. Every successful person has faced failure. The people who rise to the top aren't those who have avoided failure, but those who have faced it, learned from it, and kept going. When you experience failure, it doesn't mean you're incapable or unworthy. It means you are human. Failure is a part of the process. It's where you learn your deepest lessons, where you build your strongest muscles, both mentally and emotionally. The more you embrace failure, the more resilient you become. Implementation steps. Reframe failure. Instead of viewing failure as a negative event, change your mindset. See it as feedback. Ask yourself, what can I learn from this? What did I do right? And what could I have done better? Separate failure from identity. Don't allow failure to define who you are. Understand that failing at something is not the same as being a failure. You are not your mistakes. You are the person who learns from them and gets better. Create a failure journal. Write down your setbacks and defeats, along with the lessons you've learned from them. This will help you see that every failure is a stepping stone, not a roadblock. Resilience is built in the face of adversity. Resilience isn't something you're born with. It's something you develop over time. It's the ability to stay strong when life gets hard, to persevere through difficulties, and to rise again after you fall. Every time you face adversity and refuse to quit, you build your resilience. The more you expose yourself to challenges and overcome them, the stronger and more resilient you become. Implementation steps. Get comfortable with discomfort. Actively seek out challenges that will stretch you. This could be taking on a difficult project at work, confronting a fear, or pushing your physical limits in a workout. Every time you face something difficult and get through it, you build resilience. Develop mental toughness. When things get tough, resist the urge to give up. Push through the resistance. Focus on the bigger picture, the long-term goal, and remind yourself that every struggle is an opportunity to grow stronger. Use setbacks as stepping stones. When you encounter a setback, don't see it as a roadblock. View it as an opportunity to improve. What can you learn from this setback? How can you adjust your approach to get closer to your goal? The importance of perseverance. Perseverance is the ability to keep going, even when it feels like progress is impossible. It's the refusal to quit in the face of adversity. The most successful people aren't the ones who had it easy. They're the ones who faced challenges, struggled, and kept going. Perseverance is the quiet strength that keeps you moving forward, even when everything seems stacked against you. Implementation. Steps. Break down your goals. When faced with a large, overwhelming goal, break it down into smaller, achievable tasks. This makes the process less daunting and allows you to focus on taking one step at a time, which helps you persevere through the tough times. Celebrate small victories. Every time you make progress, no matter how small, take a moment to celebrate. Recognizing even the smallest win helps keep you motivated during the hard times. Create a support system. Surround yourself with people who encourage perseverance, people who understand the value of hard work, and who won't let you quit. When you have a strong support system, it's easier to keep pushing through. Growth comes from the struggle. In every difficult moment, there is an opportunity for growth. The more you struggle, the more you stretch your limits. It's only through facing your struggles head-on that you truly evolve into the person you need to become. The struggle is not something to fear. It's something to embrace. Growth isn't about avoiding challenges. It's about using them to become stronger. Implementation steps. View challenges as opportunities. Instead of dreading difficulties, ask yourself how they can help you grow. What new skills can you develop? What new strengths can you discover? This shift in mindset will help you face struggles with a more positive and proactive attitude. Push through emotional resistance. When you feel like quitting emotionally, when you feel discouraged or overwhelmed, push through that resistance. Recognize that this emotional resistance is part of the process, and it's a sign that you're on the verge of breakthrough. Build a growth mindset. Cultivate a mindset that embraces learning and growth. When you fail, don't see it as a defeat. See it as an opportunity to learn, improve, and come back stronger. Challenge. The Resilience Journal. For the next 14 days, keep a journal where you reflect on your struggles, failures, and the lessons you've learned. Each day, write down one setback you've encountered and one thing you learned from it. At the end of 2 weeks, review your entries and notice how much you've grown through adversity. Face a fear. Identify one fear or challenge that you've been avoiding. It could be speaking in public, taking on a difficult project, or confronting someone. This week, this fear head-on. The goal is not to conquer it immediately. Process of becoming resilient through it. Perseverance challenge. Choose one long-term goal that has felt like an uphill battle. Break it down into small tasks and commit to one task every day for the next month, no matter how difficult or discouraging it might feel. Write down each day's action, even the setbacks, and notice how your perseverance compounds over time. Final thought. Resilience is not something you're born with. It's built piece by piece, through every struggle you face and overcome. Every defeat, every failure, every challenge is an opportunity to grow stronger. It's through adversity that you develop the strength, character, and mental fortitude needed to achieve greatness. Failure's not your enemy. It's your teacher. Embrace the struggles, face the pain, and use it to build a resilience that can never be broken. The more you persevere, the more you grow, and the closer you get to the person you were always meant to become. To all the returning Grimface warriors, thank you. Your resilience, dedication, and unrelenting pursuit of greatness are what make this movement stronger every day. You embody the power of persistence and the relentless drive to rise, no matter how many times life tries to knock you down. Keep pushing. Keep growing. The journey is far from over, and every step you take brings you closer to your true potential. To those of you new to the Grimface movement, welcome. You've taken the first step toward transformation. Here, we don't shy away from discomfort. We embrace it. We learn from it. We build our strength through every challenge. If you're ready to stop making excuses, to stop waiting for the right moment, and to take control of your life, then subscribe. Join us. Together, we will create the life we're meant to live. The battle is never easy, but it is worth it. Let's rise. Together. Comfort is killing your potential. It is a slow, insidious killer. Every day, every hour, it whispers in your ear, inviting you to rest, to take it easy, to put off the hard work, to settle for what's good enough. But let me tell you something. The easy path you think is making your life better is robbing you of everything that you could be. You're not just stagnating, you're actively moving backward. While you lounge in your comfort zone, thinking you're safe, you're slowly dying inside. Your growth, your evolution, your potential, all of it is slipping away. The world doesn't stop when you choose comfort. The world is relentless, constantly moving forward. While you're resting, someone else is grinding, pushing, and clawing their way to the top. While you're settling for mediocrity, someone else is reaching for greatness. Every moment you spend coasting, someone is taking your spot. Someone is doing the work you refuse to do. They're breaking the limits you're too afraid to even challenge. This is the cruel truth. Comfort is not your ally. It is your enemy. And the worst part? You're not just letting it happen. You're actively participating in your own mediocrity. There's a lie that we tell ourselves, and it's the most dangerous lie we'll ever believe. I'll start tomorrow. How many times have you said that? How many times have you told yourself that you'll make a change, but you'll start it tomorrow, next week, next year? Here's the thing. The truth is, there is no tomorrow. There is only now. Every second you waste, every minute you spend putting off the work you know you need to do, is another second lost in your journey. It's time you'll never get back. And every second wasted compounds, pulling you further away from your dreams. There's a moment in every person's life when they are faced with the truth. It's that moment when you look in the mirror and you no longer just see your reflection. You see the reality of who you've been. For some, it comes late at night, when the world is still and the silence is deafening. For others, it strikes in broad daylight, when you least expect it, in the midst of an ordinary day. You realize, this is who I am now. Is this who I wanted to be? That moment defines us. It either crushes us or pushes us forward. And that's the point where you must decide. Will you accept mediocrity or rise up to your true potential? Now let me share something with you that most people will never grasp. Success isn't about what you achieve. It's about who you become in the process of achievement. It's not just the destination that matters. It's the journey. It's the person you evolve into while you push toward that goal. And that person, well, they're determined by what you do every single day when no one else is watching. The truth is, it's easy to want success. Everyone wants success. But the real question isn't whether you want it. It's whether you're willing to become the person capable of achieving it. Think about yesterday. Really think about it. What time did you wake up? What was the first thing you did? Did you roll out of bed and go straight into your day? Or did you hit snooze for another 10 minutes, telling yourself you'll just rest for a little longer? What did you do with those precious morning hours? Did you scroll through social media, consuming the lives of others, while your own life slipped away? These aren't just random questions. These are the building blocks of your future. Every choice, no matter how small, either pushes you toward excellence or pulls you toward mediocrity. There is no neutral ground. You're either moving forward or you're moving backward. You're either growing or you're dying. The gap between where you are and where you want to be isn't measured in miles. It's measured in decisions, small decisions, seemingly insignificant choices that you make every day. And guess what? No one sees these decisions. No one applauds them. No one criticizes them. But these decisions build up, drop by drop, until they form a mighty river. They shape your future in ways you can't yet understand. These small, unseen decisions are what will determine whether you become a winner or stay stuck in mediocrity. True winners understand something the rest of the world doesn't. Success is not a destination you arrive at one day. It's the natural consequence of consistency. It's choosing growth over comfort, every day, every hour, without exception. It's about getting up when the alarm goes off and deciding that today will be the day you push yourself just a little bit more than you did yesterday. When that alarm rings, it's not just a wake-up call. It's a decision point. Will you rise with purpose, or will you roll over and give in to your comfort zone? And here's where the rubber meets the road. How many of us are actively seeking discomfort? How many of us are pushing ourselves into situations that challenge us, that force us to grow? Most people spend their entire lives avoiding discomfort, trying to stay in the safety of their comfort zones, and then wonder why they're stuck. They wonder why they haven't reached the heights they desire. Comfort is the prison you've locked yourself in. The bars are invisible, but they're real. And until you break free from them, you will never realize your true potential. Let me be clear. Your comfort zone is not meant to be a permanent place of residence. It's a place to visit occasionally, but it's not where you're meant to live. Living in your comfort zone is a slow death to your potential. Every time you choose comfort over growth, you're writing the story of your own mediocrity. But every time you choose discomfort, you're writing the story of your greatness. So ask yourself this. What would your life look like if you pushed yourself just 1% harder every single day? Not 100%. That's unsustainable. But just one more rep. One more minute of focus. One more call. That one extra push might not seem like much in the moment. But when you add it up over a week, a month, a year, Suddenly you'll look back and realize you've built something extraordinary. The biggest mistake people make is waiting for motivation. They think they need to feel motivated before they take action. But that's backward. Action comes first. Motivation follows. You don't need to feel ready. You don't need to feel confident. You don't need to wait for the perfect moment. You just need to decide right now that you will push yourself every single day, no matter how you feel. Your life, everything in it, is the result of the decisions you've made up until now. Your health, your relationships, your career, your finances, it's all the outcome of the choices you've made. So, if you want different results, you need to make different decisions. And here's the most powerful part. You can make a new decision at any moment. Right now, you can decide to become the person who pushes themselves every day. You can decide to stop waiting for permission, for validation, for perfect conditions. The question isn't, what do I want? The real question is, what am I willing to go through to get what I want? Success isn't about what you want. It's about what you're willing to endure. It's about what you're willing to sacrifice. It's about how much you're willing to push when everything inside you screams to stop. Every day is a battle between who you are and who you could become. You're either growing or you're dying. There is no in between. And here's the hard truth. Your potential will always exceed your performance. No matter how far you've come, no matter how much you've accomplished, there's always another level. But getting there requires consistent, deliberate, uncomfortable effort. Most people only operate at 40% of their true potential. They do just enough to get by, enough to avoid criticism, enough to keep up appearances. Don't be one of them. Winners know that 40% is self-betrayal. Every time you operate below your potential, you're betraying your future. The moment you feel resistance, that's not a sign to stop. That's a sign that you're about to level up. Discomfort is a signal of growth. When you feel resistance, when you feel fear, that's when you know you're on the verge of something great. Winners know this. They embrace discomfort because it forges them into something stronger. The question you must ask yourself is, am I willing to become the warrior I was meant to be? The warrior chooses the battle, not the comfort. The warrior doesn't wait for the perfect conditions. They create them. They push themselves every day, no matter the circumstances. They choose growth, no matter how painful. They rise every time, and they rise stronger. Will you choose the same? Lesson 1. Recognize the power of small decisions. Key concept. Every choice you make shapes your future. The first step in breaking free from your comfort zone is understanding that every decision matters. Every small, seemingly insignificant choice you make today is contributing to your future. The act of choosing between comfort and growth, between easy and hard, between now and later. These decisions, though seemingly minor, are actually the building blocks of your destiny. This is where the real battle takes place, in the small, daily decisions that no one notices. The most successful people understand that these small moments accumulate over time and eventually shape the course of their lives. Each decision, whether it's deciding to wake up on time or to tackle a difficult task instead of procrastinating, is a moment that either takes you closer to your potential or pushes you further away from it. The key here is awareness. If you can become aware of the importance of these small decisions, you can begin to actively choose growth. even in the most mundane moments. You stop operating on autopilot and start making deliberate choices that align with your goals. How to implement. Start each day by making one small, tough decision that pushes you outside your comfort zone. Whether it's waking up when your alarm rings, choosing to go for a run instead of hitting the snooze button, or tackling that challenging email instead of putting it off. Make it a non-negotiable part of your morning routine. Over time, these small wins will compound and shift your mindset to prioritize growth over comfort. When faced with decisions throughout the day, ask yourself, is this pushing me toward excellence or pulling me toward mediocrity? This could be as simple as choosing to spend 30 minutes learning a new skill instead of mindlessly scrolling through your phone. When you can recognize the choices that matter most, you become empowered to choose the path that leads to growth. Keep a journal of your daily decisions for 1 week. Track the small choices you make and reflect on whether they're moving you closer to your goals or reinforcing your current comfort zone. This exercise helps to build self-awareness and offers insight into areas of your life where you may be subconsciously choosing comfort over growth. Use this information to begin adjusting your daily habits. By focusing on the small decisions and choosing growth even in seemingly insignificant moments, you begin to shift your entire life trajectory. Recognizing the power of small decisions is the foundation upon which every other lesson is built. When you take control of your choices, you take control of your life. And once you realize that, the process of pushing past your limits becomes much easier to sustain. Lesson 2. Embrace discomfort as a growth signal. Key concept. Discomfort is a signal of growth. The path to success is not a smooth one. It's not about finding ease and comfort. It's about stepping into the unknown and willingly embracing the discomfort that comes with change. Discomfort is one of the most powerful indicators of growth. It's a sign that you are stretching yourself, challenging your limits, and stepping beyond what is familiar to you. The moment you feel discomfort, that is the moment when transformation is happening. It's when you push past your comfort zone that you begin to break through the barriers that have kept you stagnant. Most people shy away from discomfort because it feels unpleasant. The truth is, our minds are wired to seek pleasure and avoid pain. However, in the modern world, this survival mechanism often prevents us from reaching our full potential. You must retrain your mind to view discomfort not as a threat, but as a valuable signal that you're moving in the right direction. It's like the burn you feel when you lift heavy weights. At first, it's painful, but over time, that discomfort leads to strength and growth. Understanding that discomfort equals growth requires a shift in perspective. Instead of trying to avoid it, seek it out. Challenge yourself to lean into discomfort. When you start looking for opportunities to push yourself beyond what's comfortable, you'll discover new levels of strength and resilience you didn't even know you had. How to implement. Seek out discomfort intentionally. When you're presented with the option to take the easy route, choose the harder path. If you feel the resistance in your body or mind telling you to avoid something, that's your cue to move toward it. Whether it's taking on a tough project at work, signing up for a challenging fitness program, or engaging in difficult conversations, these moments of discomfort are opportunities to grow. Reframe discomfort as a positive force. The next time you feel a physical challenge, a mental hurdle, or an emotional obstacle, remind yourself that it's not a sign to stop. It's a signal that you are progressing, that you are evolving. Reframe discomfort as evidence that you're on the right track. Instead of running from it, ask yourself, What can I learn from this? How can I use this discomfort to become better? Push yourself beyond your current limits. One of the best ways to embrace discomfort is to set goals that are just beyond your current capabilities. If you're working out, challenge yourself to push for one more rep, run one more lap, or increase your weight. In your personal and professional life, push yourself to tackle bigger challenges, speak in public, or take on projects that intimidate you. This is how you build resilience, by stretching your limits and breaking through the discomfort. Change your mindset about failure. When you feel discomfort, it's easy to equate it with failure. But it's important to recognize that failure and discomfort are part of the process. Failure isn't a sign to quit. It's a learning experience. Discomfort means you're on the verge of something greater. Failures, setbacks, and challenges are not the end. They're just the growing pains you need to go through in order to reach the next level. Develop a discomfort tolerance. The more you expose yourself to discomfort, the easier it becomes to handle. Over time, you'll develop a higher tolerance for discomfort, meaning you'll be able to push yourself further and further without being overwhelmed. Just like physical training increases your muscle endurance, emotional and mental discomfort increases your capacity for growth. When you choose to embrace discomfort, you no longer see it as something to fear. Instead, you recognize it as a necessary step toward becoming stronger, more capable, and more successful. Discomfort becomes not just something to endure, but something to seek out. The more you grow comfortable with being uncomfortable, the more unstoppable you become. Remember, the path to greatness is not found in ease. It's forged in the fire of challenge, discomfort, and persistence. Keep pushing yourself. Keep leaning into discomfort. And watch as you transform into the person you were always meant to be. Lesson 3. Build the habit of consistent effort. Key concept. Success is the result of consistent daily effort. Success is rarely a result of a single action or a dramatic leap forward. It's built on the consistent daily efforts that compound over time. The truth is, success is more about persistence than it is about talent, intelligence, or luck. Every great achievement comes from showing up each day, doing the work, and putting in the effort, even when the results aren't immediately visible. This is where most people fail. They expect instant results, or they try to make drastic changes without understanding that success is achieved in incremental steps. The most successful people in the world understand one simple truth. Success is not an event. It's a process. It's a series of small, deliberate actions that accumulate into something greater than the sum of their parts. It's about the habits you cultivate, the effort you put in and day out, and the discipline you maintain when motivation fades. Consistency is the bedrock of any achievement. Building the habit of consistent effort means committing to the process, not just the outcome. It's about showing up, even when you don't feel like it. It's about doing the work, regardless of how long it takes or how difficult it seems. Over time, the results will come, but they will only come if you remain disciplined in your effort. How to implement. Set clear, measurable goals. Consistency thrives when you know exactly what you're working toward. Set specific, clear goals for yourself. Whether it's a professional target, a health milestone, or a personal development objective, having a clear destination helps keep your efforts focused. Break these larger goals down into smaller, manageable tasks that you can accomplish every day. This turns the overwhelming journey toward success into a series of daily, consistent actions. Create a daily routine that incorporates your goals. Consistency thrives on routine. Develop a schedule that aligns with your goals and commit to it every day. For example, if your goal is to write a book, commit to writing 500 words each day. If it's fitness, dedicate 30 minutes every day to physical exercise. The key is not to overwhelm yourself with massive tasks, but to create a sustainable habit that you can repeat daily without fail. Focus on effort, not results. One of the hardest things to do is to detach your worth and motivation from immediate results. Most people are motivated by the sight of progress, by quick wins and visible achievements. But true consistency comes when you're focused on the effort, not the outcome. Celebrate the fact that you are doing the work every day, regardless of how far you feel from your goal. The process is just as important as the destination. Track your progress and celebrate small wins. To maintain consistent effort, it's important to track your progress, even if it feels incremental. This helps you see that you are moving forward, even on the days when you don't feel like it. Use a journal or a habit tracker to mark off your daily efforts. When you reach a small milestone, whether it's a week of consistent work, completing a certain number of reps, or finishing a chapter of your book, celebrate it. These small victories will keep you motivated and reinforce your commitment to consistency. Push through the days you don't feel like it. On those days when motivation is nowhere to be found, that's when your commitment to consistency will really be tested. It's easy to work when you're inspired, but the true test of character is showing up when you don't feel like it. Those are the days that will define your future success. Learn to push through those moments. Even if you can't give 100% on those days, show up and give something. Give 10%, give 50%, but always show up. Stack your habits. Once you've mastered one habit, build on it. Consistency is not just about maintaining one habit, but also about layering new habits on top of existing ones. For example, if you've built the habit of waking up early to exercise, add a new habit of reading for 20 minutes after your workout. Gradually stacking new habits on top of your existing routine will accelerate your progress and increase your productivity. Be patient and trust the process. The road to success is not fast. It's a marathon, not a sprint. There will be times when your progress seems slow, and you might question whether all your effort is worth it. But remember, success is the result of consistent effort compounded over time. It's like a snowball rolling down a hill. At first, it's small and barely noticeable, but with each day, it grows larger and more powerful. Trust the process and have patience as your efforts build momentum. Consistency over perfection. Don't wait for the perfect moment to take action. Consistency doesn't mean doing things perfectly. It means doing things regularly and making progress, even if that progress isn't always perfect. Perfectionism can paralyze you, keeping you stuck in place. Instead, focus on showing up and doing your best, not on achieving flawless results. Over time, your consistent effort will lead to improvements that no single perfect attempt could ever match. By committing to consistent effort, you're creating a foundation of resilience. You're building the mental toughness that will allow you to keep going when the road gets tough. Remember, success doesn't come from one huge breakthrough. It comes from the daily actions you take, the effort you put in, and the resilience you build when you push through obstacles. Action plan. Define your goals and break them down into smaller, manageable tasks. Create a daily routine that includes these tasks and prioritize them every day. Track your progress, no matter how small, and celebrate your consistency. Push yourself on days when motivation is low and learn to work through resistance. Build on your habits over time, stacking new goals on top of old ones. Trust the process, and remember that your consistent effort is the foundation of success. Consistency is the key that unlocks the door to greatness. By making the daily decision to show up, do the work, and push through discomfort, you will build the momentum needed to achieve extraordinary success. Keep going, even when it feels hard. Keep putting in the effort, because with every step, you're becoming the person capable of achieving what you once thought was impossible. Lesson 4. Stop waiting for motivation. Act first. Key concept. Motivation follows action, not the other way around. One of the biggest lies we tell ourselves is that we need to feel motivated before we can take action. We often find ourselves waiting for the perfect moment, for the right mood, or for the burst of inspiration that will push us to take action. The truth is, this mindset is a trap. Motivation doesn't come before action. It comes after we start. The most successful people don't wait for motivation to strike. They create motivation by simply doing the work, even when they don't feel like it. Think about it. Motivation is a fleeting feeling, like the wind. It blows through, but it doesn't always stay. If you rely solely on motivation to get things done, you'll quickly find yourself stuck in a cycle of inaction, waiting for a feeling that may never come. The secret to success isn't waiting for motivation. It's taking the first step, no matter how small, and allowing action to fuel the momentum that builds motivation. When you take action first, even in the face of doubt or resistance, you break the cycle of procrastination. You create forward momentum that naturally generates motivation, making it easier to keep going. The act of doing is what ultimately drives you to continue moving forward. So, stop waiting for the perfect moment. Stop waiting to feel inspired. Start now. How to implement. Take the first step, no matter how small. It doesn't matter if you don't feel like it or if you think you're not ready. The most important thing is to begin. Start with the smallest possible action you can take toward your goal. Whether it's writing a single sentence, working for 10 minutes, or making one call. The key is to overcome the inertia of inaction. Once you take that first step, momentum will begin to build. Commit to doing before feeling. We often wait for the feeling of motivation to come before taking action. Flip that thinking. Commit to the idea that you will act first, and the feeling will follow. For example, instead of waiting for motivation to start exercising, tell yourself you will work out for just 5 minutes. Often, after you get started, you'll find that you're willing to go longer, because action has already started the process of generating motivation. Stop making excuses. We are all experts at making excuses. We tell ourselves that we don't have enough time, that we're too tired, or that the conditions aren't right. The truth is, if you wait for ideal conditions to act, you will never act. The conditions will never be perfect. If you truly want to make progress, you must learn to act in spite of the obstacles. Discipline is about doing the work regardless of your excuses or how you feel. Stop waiting for everything to align and take action with what you have, where you are. Focus on process, not results. Motivation often gets stuck in the desire for results. We want instant rewards and instant feedback to fuel our drive. But this is a trap. Focusing too much on the outcome can make the journey feel overwhelming. Instead, focus on the process, the small actions you can take today. Celebrate your consistency and effort, not just the outcome. The more you focus on showing up and doing the work, the more motivation will naturally follow. Develop a just do it mentality. Sometimes, the best way to overcome resistance is to eliminate the mental chatter that keeps you from starting. The longer you think about something, the more doubts and excuses will enter your mind. Develop a just do it mentality. When you feel resistance, push past it by saying, just do it. Commit to taking action right now, regardless of your emotional state or mental hesitations. Create a no excuses rule. Build a habit of rejecting excuses. Set a rule for yourself that excuses have no place in your daily life. Instead of waiting for conditions to be perfect, decide that every day you will take at least one action, no matter how small, toward your goal. When you remove the option to make excuses, you eliminate the barrier that's preventing you from taking action. Make decisions quickly and commit. Often, the reason we don't take action is that we spend too much time contemplating decisions. We overthink, get stuck in analysis paralysis, and never move forward. Make the decision quickly and commit to it. The longer you wait, the harder it becomes to act. Once you commit to taking action, trust yourself enough to follow through without second guessing. Use momentum to build motivation. Once you start acting, motivation begins to build. You'll notice that the first few steps might be difficult, but once you gain momentum, things will start to flow more easily. The key is to keep moving, even when it's hard. Small victories will add up and motivate you to keep going. Think of momentum as the engine that powers your actions. Without it, you're stuck. But once you have it, the work becomes easier. Example of momentum in action. Imagine you want to write a book, but every day you think, I'll do it tomorrow. You feel unmotivated to start, so the cycle continues. But one day, you decide to simply write one paragraph. That's it. You don't pressure yourself to write a chapter, just one paragraph. Once you get started, you may realize that you're in the flow, and suddenly you've written a few pages. You started with the smallest action, but it sparked the motivation to continue. The key was starting, not waiting for motivation to come to you. Key takeaways. Take action first. Motivation follows action, not the other way around. Commit to doing, not feeling. Don't wait for perfect conditions. Perfect timing will never come. Act now and adapt as you go. Focus on the process. Motivation grows from consistent effort, not from the pursuit of immediate results. Eliminate excuses. Stop waiting for the right moment and start working with what you have. Develop a no excuses rule. Commit to taking action each day, no matter how small. Conclusion. Waiting for motivation is a surefire way to stay stuck in the same place. The key to moving forward, to breaking free from procrastination, is to act first. The moment you take that first step, you create momentum. And with that momentum comes the motivation to continue. Don't wait for inspiration to strike. Create it yourself by simply getting started. Act now and let motivation follow. Lesson 5. Redefine your self-image through action. Key concept. Who you are today is not who you must remain. One of the most powerful tools you have at your disposal is the ability to shape your self-image. Your self-image is the mental picture you have of yourself, the person you believe yourself to be. It governs how you approach challenges, how you react to setbacks, and most importantly, how you act in everyday situations. Your self-image is the foundation of your behavior and performance. It can either limit you or empower you to reach your full potential. The unfortunate truth is that most people operate with a limited self-image, one that has been shaped by their past experiences, failures, and external influences. Many of us base our self-image on what others think of us, or on our past mistakes, rather than on the limitless potential that exists within us. But here's the liberating truth. Your self-image is not fixed. It is not permanent. It is something that you can redefine at any moment. Every action you take, every step you take toward your goals, is an opportunity to reshape your self-image. You don't have to wait for external validation or approval. You can begin right now, through consistent action, to redefine who you are and what you are capable of. You can transform your self-image by proving to yourself, through action, that you are capable of achieving greatness, no matter where you started from, or what limitations you may have believed you had. How to implement. Start with small actions that challenge your self-image. If you have a limiting belief about yourself, like thinking you're not disciplined, capable, or talented enough to achieve your goals, start proving that belief wrong through small actions. For example, if you think you lack discipline, take a small step to challenge that. Maybe it's committing to wake up at 5 a.m. every day, or it's sticking to a fitness routine for a week. With each small action, you will begin to rewrite the story you've been telling yourself about who you are. Take on challenges that force you to grow. Redefining your self-image requires you to step outside your comfort zone and take on challenges that stretch you. Whether it's taking on a difficult project at work, entering a new field, or starting a business, putting yourself in situations that push you beyond what you thought you were capable of will force you to reassess who you are and what you're capable of. Every time you succeed at something that challenges you, your self-image will grow stronger, more confident, and more resilient. Visualize the person you want to become. Visualization is a powerful tool for reshaping your self-image. Close your eyes and imagine the person you want to be. The version of yourself who has already achieved the goals you're striving for. Picture yourself succeeding, feeling confident, taking on challenges with ease. As you visualize this version of yourself, begin to embody that image in your actions. Start making decisions and taking actions as if you are already that person. Your self-image will begin to shift as you consistently take on the role of the person you aspire to be. Challenge your inner critic. Most of us have an inner critic, those negative voices that tell us we're not good enough, not capable enough, or that we're not worthy of success. These voices are rooted in your current self-image. The key to redefining your self-image is to challenge and silence that inner critic. Instead of accepting these negative thoughts as truth, confront them with positive affirmations and evidence of your capabilities. When you hear that voice telling you, "You can't," respond with, "I am capable, I am worthy, and I am taking action today to prove myself wrong." Over time, the inner critic will become weaker, and your new, empowered self-image will take root. Create new habits that reflect your desired identity. The key to changing your self-image is to make sure your actions reflect the person you want to become. If you want to be seen as disciplined, create daily habits that reflect discipline. If you want to be seen as a leader, take leadership opportunities, even if they scare you. The more you act in alignment with your desired self-image, the stronger that self-image will become. Consistency is the key. With every new habit you adopt, you reinforce the identity of the person you are striving to become. Use positive self-talk to reinforce your new identity. The way you talk to yourself matters. Your thoughts influence how you see yourself and how you perform. If you want to redefine your self-image, start by changing the language you use about yourself. Stop saying things like, "I'm not good enough," or "I'm too weak to succeed." Instead, tell yourself, "I am capable of achieving anything I set my mind to. I am strong and resilient," or "I am always growing and improving." This positive self-talk will create a mental foundation for the new, empowered identity you are working to build. Surround yourself with people who support your new image. The people you spend time with have a significant impact on your self-image. If you are constantly around people who reinforce your old limiting beliefs, it will be difficult to break free from that mindset. Surround yourself with people who believe in your potential, who challenge you to grow, and who support your goals. These people will help you see yourself through a more empowered lens and encourage you to become the best version of yourself. Measure your progress. As you take consistent action, it's important to measure your progress. Track your achievements and reflect on how far you've come. This will help reinforce the fact that your self-image is indeed shifting. When you look back at your progress, you'll realize that you've become someone new. Not because of what others think of you, but because of the actions you've taken and the person you've decided to become. Be patient with the process. Changing your self-image takes time. It's not an overnight transformation. It requires consistent action, belief in your potential, and a commitment to growth. Don't get discouraged if things don't change immediately. Understand that as long as you continue to take action toward your goals, your self-image will shift. Trust the process and stay committed to becoming the person you aspire to be. Example of self-image transformation. Consider someone who believes they're not good with money. Their self-image is rooted in the idea that they'll never be financially successful. To change this, they could start by taking small steps, like creating a budget, saving a certain percentage of their income, or learning about investing. Each time they take action in alignment with a more financially responsible identity, they start to see themselves differently. Eventually, this person no longer sees themselves as someone bad with money, but as someone who is financially disciplined, capable of making sound financial decisions. Key takeaways. Your self-image is not fixed. It is shaped by your actions and beliefs, and you can redefine it at any time. Challenge your limiting beliefs. Identify areas where your self-image is holding you back, and actively work to change those beliefs through action. Act as if. Begin embodying the person you want to become by taking actions that align with your desired self-image. Create habits that reflect your new identity. Consistent, positive habits will help reinforce your new self-image. Use positive self-talk to reinforce change. Your inner dialogue influences your behavior, so speak to yourself as the person you're becoming. Conclusion. The power to redefine your self-image is within your hands. By taking consistent, purposeful actions that align with the person you want to become, you can reshape who you are. Your self-image is not a static portrait. It is a living, breathing reflection of your daily choices. The more you act in alignment with your true potential, the more your self-image will evolve. Don't wait for others to define you. Take the reins and create the identity of someone who is capable of achieving anything they set their mind to. Your future self is waiting for you to step into your power. To all the returning grim-faced warriors, thank you for your unwavering commitment to the grind. Every day, you prove that you're not just spectators of life. You are the ones shaping your own destiny, pushing through discomfort, and building the future you deserve. Keep pushing, keep grinding, and remember, the struggle you embrace today is the strength you'll carry tomorrow. And to all the new viewers joining us, welcome to the movement. This is where we don't just talk about success. We put in the work. We don't wait for motivation to find us. We take. If you're ready to redefine your life, challenge your limits, and become the best version of yourself, then you found the right place. Subscribe to the Grimface Movement, and let's walk this path together. Your journey to greatness begins right now. Stay relentless. Stay hungry. Stay grim. Listen closely. This is not comfort. This is not calm. This is the battlefield of transformation. And the moment you cross this line, there is no going back. The old you, the soft one, the one that hit snooze, made excuses, justified weakness, and begged for mercy in the face of pressure. That version of you dies here, right now. What we're about to enter is not a seminar. It's war. Not with weapons, not with enemies, but with the shadow that's been trailing your every step, the coward within. So grab your armor, sharpen your mind like a blade, and let's march. Comfort is the poisoned blade. Imagine a fortress. Within it, you feel safe, warm, untouched by the world. But outside that fortress lies everything you want: glory, purpose, and power. And the enemy? He waits outside, sharpening his blade not to strike you, but to tempt you, whispering, "Stay. Rest. You've earned it." That enemy is comfort. It doesn't kill with violence. It kills with sedation, with warmth, with ease. It will wrap its arms around you like a lover, then pierce your heart with stillness. Comfort is the slow venom that numbs your spirit. You don't feel it until years pass, and the warrior within you is nothing but a memory. Do you want the throne? Do you want freedom, strength, wealth, purpose? Then you must walk out of that fortress, barefoot, into the frost. Because true transformation begins at the edge of suffering. Only fire forges steel, and only pain awakens the warrior. Build the ritual of one blade. You don't become a champion in one swing. You become a champion by swinging the blade 1,000 times, flawed, shaky, but consistent. Most men fail because they chase the epic moment. They wait for the grand war before training in the shadows. Fools. Real warriors begin with one strike, one ritual, one decision, every single day. Start with one habit. Read 10 pages like you're studying enemy tactics. Drink water like it's a potion of clarity. Wake up earlier like the dawn is calling your name for battle. That one habit, it becomes your first blade. And when that blade becomes an extension of your arm, then you forge the second. This isn't about overwhelming the enemy. It's about becoming deadly, one move at a time. Because a warrior doesn't need chaos. He needs rhythm. He needs sacred routine. And he needs to show up every day, whether it rains, burns, or breaks him in half. Slay the demons of distraction. Picture your battlefield. But instead of warriors charging, it's whispers, notifications, drama, empty validation, all pulling at your focus like demons in disguise. These distractions are your assassins. They do not strike you down with blood. They lull you into mediocrity. And mediocrity? That is the slowest form of death known to man. You think you can multitask your way to mastery. You think you can scroll your way to glory. Then you've already lost. Every time you answer that beep, you've dropped your sword. Every time you fall for another empty dopamine hit, you let your armor rust. So guard your attention like a warlord guards his throne. Turn off your phone. Block out the noise. Withdraw from the crowd if you must. Because the world wants your attention more than your success. It wants your time more than your greatness. But you must be a different breed. A discipline-driven savage who protects their time like gold. Your focus is a blade. Keep it sharp. Keep it sacred. Train the flesh before it betrays you. You want to conquer kingdoms, but you can't even conquer your own body. You think you're ready for the war of success while skipping leg day and eating like a peasant? No. A warrior doesn't just sharpen the mind. He sharpens the flesh. Because when the mind falters, the body carries the mission forward. Neglect your health, and you will be betrayed in battle. Your energy will drain. Your lungs will burn. Your bones will ache. And no matter how noble your dreams, you will fall. Your body is your temple, but also your weapon. You don't need to look like a statue. You need to move like a predator. You need endurance, clarity, strength. So move, lift, stretch, fight. Train like your future depends on it, because it does. A weak body leads to a distracted mind. A distracted mind leads to hesitation. And hesitation on the battlefield is death. Time is the blade that cannot be reversed. Time is not your friend. It is not patient. It is not forgiving. It is a silent executioner. And with every breath you take, it brings the axe closer to your neck. You think you have time to waste? To figure it out later? To change when you're ready? No. Every minute you spend in distraction, in indecision, in fear, is a minute your enemy is gaining ground. You must command your time like a war general. Plan your hours like they are troops. Deploy them with strategy. Strike your goals with urgency. Stop living like you're immortal. You're not. You are dying. Slowly. And every day you don't act is another you'll never get back. So what do? You reclaim the day. You dominate your schedule. You build structure like a fortress. If you don't manage your time, time will manage you. And when it does, it will not show mercy. Honor the small victories like trophies of war. Glory isn't always the roar of the crowd. Sometimes, it's the silence of a single perfect strike. Don't wait for the world to clap. Celebrate your own damn progress. Every time you choose the hard path. Every time you resist temptation. Every time you fight your excuses and win, you earn another stripe. That's how the legend is built, step by brutal step. One rep, one line of a book, 1 hour of focus, one early morning. Victory is not a one-time event. It's a collection of 1,000 small, brutal, disciplined acts. So when you do something right, acknowledge it. Not with ego, but with honor. Like a warrior sharpening his blade after a clean kill. Because that's what you're doing. You are slaying your old self. One habit at a time. So now I ask you again, are you ready to bleed for your greatness? Are you ready to face the mirror and see the coward fade and the warrior rise? Because the path will not get easier. You must become stronger. There are no shortcuts, no cheat codes, only the grind, the war, the discipline. So step into the fire. Let the comfort burn. Forge yourself in pressure. Rise with scars, not excuses. Because that's what warriors do. We don't wait. We march. And when the world sees the flames rising behind us, it won't ask who we are. It will remember. You've just been handed the truth. Raw, ruthless, and unfiltered. Now what? That speech wasn't just meant to ignite something inside you. It was meant to wound the part of you that's been lying dormant. The version of you that's been drifting through life, numbed by comfort, distracted by noise, weakened by excuses. But motivation without direction is like a warrior swinging wildly in the dark. Loud, dramatic, but useless. You don't need hype. You need a path. You need discipline carved into daily action. You need a structure as brutal and unshakable as the mindset you're trying to build. That's where these 5 lessons come in. This isn't inspiration. This is a battle plan. Each lesson is a weapon, designed to strip away the old, forge the new, and prepare you for war against the very habits that have been holding you back. So if you felt something stir during the speech, if something deep inside you screamed, "I'm done being weak," then this is your next step. These are the drills, the scars, the sharpened edges that turn fire into form. Now, take a breath, tighten your armor, and let's begin the campaign. Lesson 1. Burn the fortress of comfort. Comfort feels like a warm blanket on a cold night. But it's not warmth. It's a trap. A beautifully padded prison cell built to keep you safe, small, and asleep. Comfort whispers, "You're fine as you are." But fine is the battlefield where dreams go to die. You say you want more strength, more wealth, more meaning. But you can't build a kingdom while clinging to the cushions of mediocrity. You cannot chase greatness and worship comfort. The truth? Everything you want is on the other side of resistance. The fire you keep running from. That's the forge that will shape you into who you were meant to become. The fortress must fall. Imagine your life as a walled fortress. Inside, your habits, your excuses, your predictable routines. Outside, the unknown. Risk, fear, pain, growth. And every time you feel the discomfort of change approaching, you retreat. Back to the fortress. Back to what's easy, safe, and slowly killing your potential. You've convinced yourself you're surviving, but really, you're just existing. You're not living, you're stalling, and time is sharpening its axe. So here's the brutal truth. The fortress doesn't protect you. It buries you. Day by day, in shallow graves of missed opportunities, unused potential, and silenced ambition. It's time to burn it down. What that looks like in real life. Wake up earlier than your body wants to. Have the conversation you've been avoiding for months. Say no to the short-term pleasure that's pulling you away from long-term purpose. Take the first step on the project that scares you the most. Tell your comfort, "You no longer rule me," and prove it with action. Discomfort should not be avoided. It should be sought out, like a warrior who smiles at the first sting of battle. Because every time you step into discomfort, you reclaim a part of your power. Warrior rituals to burn the fortress. The cold start challenge. Every morning, do something that makes you uncomfortable. A cold shower, a fasted walk, 30 minutes of writing. Doesn't matter what, only that it pushes you. This rewires your mind to associate discomfort with awakening, not avoidance. The resistance journal. At the end of each day, write down, what did I avoid today out of fear or laziness? What comfort trap did I retreat into? What discomfort did I conquer? Reflect. Then aim to do one more uncomfortable thing tomorrow. Comfort elimination list. Write out the comforts that weaken you. Late night scrolling, overeating, negative people, sleeping in, meaningless entertainment. Then eliminate one per week. Replace it with action. The mindset shift. Comfort is the enemy. You don't need to feel ready. You don't need to feel fearless. You need to feel the edge and lean into it. Because warriors aren't forged in warmth. They're forged in fire. They don't ask for mercy. They become merciless with themselves so that life cannot break them. This lesson is not just about getting out of your comfort zone. It's about becoming addicted to challenge. It's about running toward the storm, not hiding from it. A true warrior doesn't charge into battle with 10 blades and no skill. He starts with one. One blade forged with precision, sharpened with focus, tested in the fire. This is the mistake most people make. They try to change everything at once. They want the perfect routine, the flawless mindset, the 6-figure income, the ideal body, all at once. And what happens? They fall under the weight of their own ambition. Because without discipline, desire is just noise. Without order, power is wasted. Before you build the empire, you must build the ritual. Before you fight the war, you must master the first strike. Why one habit is the blade that changes everything. The mind wants complexity. It wants to overthink, overplan, and eventually overwhelm itself into inaction. But the body, the warrior's body, thrives on clarity and motion. That's why we start with one habit. One clear, simple, deliberate action, done every single day without fail. Because when you do that, something profound happens. You rebuild trust with yourself. You stop being the person who says, "I'll start tomorrow," and become the one who executes relentlessly. That one blade becomes your foundation. And from that foundation, the rest of your arsenal is forged. How to choose your first blade. Pick a habit that does 3 things. Aligns with your future identity. Who are you trying to become? What would they do daily? Is simple enough to execute no matter what. No perfect conditions, no excuses. Requires consistency over intensity. You don't need to do 100 push-ups. You need to show up every day. Examples of first blades. Wake up at 5:30 a.m. and sit in silence for 10 minutes. Read 10 pages of a life-changing book. Walk 30 minutes in the morning. No headphones, just reflection. Write 3 goals in a journal and visualize executing them. Cold shower to initiate discipline through discomfort. It doesn't matter what the habit is. What matters is that you commit to it like it's law. Picture the battlefield again. You forged your first blade. You've stepped out of the fortress of comfort. But now the enemy changes. It doesn't come at you with spears or swords. It comes disguised as harmless temptation. Buzz, ping, click, scroll. You are no longer just fighting laziness. You are now at war with distraction. The quiet killer of dreams. The demon with no face that enters through your eyes, your ears, your hands, and feeds on your attention. And if you don't kill it, it will kill your mission. The truth about distraction. Distraction is not random. It's a weapon, engineered to keep you weak. The modern world profits from your broken focus. It lures you in with likes, headlines, endless entertainment, while your dreams bleed out in the background. You say you're busy. You say you don't have time. But you do. You've just been robbed, one scroll at a time. The mind is a sword, but left exposed, it rusts in the rain of noise. If you do not protect your attention, you'll spend your life reacting to the world instead of ruling it. The warrior's mind is a fortress. A true warrior knows that his most sacred weapon is not brute strength. It's clarity. And clarity demands silence. It demands intention. It demands discipline over what you allow into your mind. You cannot achieve focus with the gates of your mind wide open. Every app, every notification, every dopamine spike pulls you further from your path. You are not just distracted. You are being deployed by forces that don't care about your legacy. The warrior does not let the enemy live in his home. So why are you letting your enemy live in your pocket? Daily distraction. Kill protocol. 1. The sacred hour. Claim the first 60 minutes of your day. No phone, no news, no social media. This is your time to think, move, read, or plan your attack. This is where you align with your mission before the world tries to hijack your mind. 2. Deep work. Warfare. Set a timer for 90 minutes. Choose one mission-critical task. Turn off every notification. Go dark, and go to war with it. This is your strike window. No multitasking. No half-focus. Just execution. 3. The digital perimeter. Delete the apps you don't need. Log out of every account that steals your soul. Install blockers if you must. Guard your mental space like a war camp at night. 4. The evening kill list. Each night reflect. What distractions pulled me today? Why did I allow it? How will I strike it down tomorrow? Because awareness is the beginning of liberation. Make boredom a weapon again. Here's the truth no one wants to admit. You're afraid of silence. You're addicted to stimulation. You've trained your brain to panic when it's not being fed, so it feeds on garbage. But in silence, you find vision. In boredom, you remember who you are. In stillness, you awaken the fire inside. The warrior does not fear silence. He summons it. Because in the quiet, he listens to the call of his higher self. Build a temple of focus. Your environment is either a battlefield or a training ground. Design it like a temple of war. Remove visual clutter. Work with a timer. Play instrumental or ambient sound if needed to drown the noise. Light a candle. Burn incense. Wear headphones. Anchor the ritual. Let your workspace become sacred. Not a place of scrolling, but a place of slaying. What you lose to distraction. Time you'll never get back. Progress you'll never recover. Dreams you'll never realize. Peace you'll never feel. If that doesn't terrify you, it should. Because distraction doesn't kill you all at once. It eats you alive slowly, until one day you look up and realize you've become nothing like the person you were meant to be. Final orders for lesson 3. Tonight, walk into your mental battlefield and ask yourself, where is the breach in my focus? What has been silently robbing me of my destiny? Then kill it. Delete it. Block it. Limit it. Whatever it takes. Because if you can't focus, you can't win. And if you can't win, then why are you even here? Control your mind. Master your attention. And let the world wonder how you became so dangerous, so locked in, so untouchable, while they were busy refreshing a feed. Lesson 4. Strengthen the flesh to carry the mission. You say you want to climb mountains, but your body is collapsing under the weight of basic discipline. You say you're ready for the grind, for the 12-hour days, the late nights, the building, the sacrifice. But your legs tremble walking up the stairs. You drown in caffeine just to stay awake. You poison yourself with junk, with laziness, with neglect, and still expect to fight like a warrior? No. You cannot wield power with broken bones. You cannot sustain vision with a fogged mind. You cannot endure war when your weapon, your body, is rusted and dull. The body is not a side quest. This is not about six-pack abs. This is not about aesthetics or vanity. or fitting someone else's idea of fitness. This is about capacity. This is about endurance. This is about your ability to push through when others fall apart. Because the mission will test you. Not once, not for a week, but again and again. And if your body can't carry the weight of your own vision, then the war is over before it begins. Your body is your armor and your prison if you let it rot. Your body is the fortress where your mind wages its battles. If the walls are cracked, if your energy is gone, your back aches, your heart is slow, then every mental gain becomes harder to maintain. You can have the most focused mind in the world, but if your energy is drained, your fire will flicker, your drive will die, and the world will pass you by. A weak body leads to a distracted mind, and a distracted mind is a dead one. Fuel the machine like a warrior. Every bite you take is a decision. Will this fuel my mission, or will this slow me down? This is battlefield nutrition, not indulgence, not convenience, not I deserve it. What you deserve is victory, and that takes fuel, not trash. Eat like someone going to war. That means real food, earth food, food that energizes, not sedates. Hydrate, constantly, not when you're already tired, but as maintenance. Cut what fogs you. Sugar, heavy starches, processed garbage. This isn't a diet. This is a fuel protocol for the body of a warrior. Move like a predator. You don't need a gym. You don't need equipment. You don't need fancy gear. You need one thing: movement. Every single day. Walk like you're on a scouting mission. Observe, breathe, clear your mind. Stretch like you're preparing to strike. Lengthen the joints, unlock tension. Train like you're preparing for combat. Push-ups, squats, sprints. Doesn't matter. Just move with purpose. A predator doesn't wait for the perfect condition to strike. It stays ready. So must you. Don't train to look good. Train to endure, to persist, to outlast. Because in the war of success, stamina is a weapon most men never develop. Sleep is your regeneration chamber. You're not grinding if you're running on 3 hours of sleep. You're deteriorating. Your brain doesn't recover. Your body doesn't rebuild. Your drive becomes mud. Sleep isn't weakness. Sleep is the forge that repairs the steel after the swing. Build a nighttime ritual. Protect your sleep like sacred ground. You want longevity? Then you need rest, not escape. The warrior's health protocol. Simple, brutal, effective. Move for 30 minutes every single day. No negotiation. Rain, snow, fatigue. Move anyway. Drink a full glass of water first thing in the morning. Before coffee, before screens, before the world. Hydrate the engine. Eat one clean meal a day. If you can do more, great. But start here. Earn the right to go further. Sleep 7 to 8 hours like it's armor repair. No scrolling into the night. No sacrificing sleep for entertainment. Cut one toxin each week. Fast food, sugar, soda, alcohol. Start small, then keep going. Why you must prioritize this now? Because the war you're preparing for is not short. This is lifelong combat, and you will need every ounce of strength, every drop of energy, every breath of clarity. The world doesn't care how noble your dreams are. It only respects execution. And you cannot execute at a high level when you're sick, tired, sluggish, or slowly falling apart. You want to build an empire? Then build the body that can carry it. Final orders for Lesson 4. Tonight, stand in the mirror. Look at your body not as decoration, but as your war machine. And ask yourself, can this body carry the future I say I want? Then tomorrow, walk, move, hydrate, Eat for fuel, sleep for regeneration. Make it a non-negotiable ritual. Make it sacred. Because when the body becomes strong, the mind becomes sharper, the energy becomes infinite, and the mission becomes unstoppable. Your body is not an afterthought. It is your foundation. It is your vessel. It is your first weapon in the war of transformation. Lesson 5. Command time like a general. We've burned the fortress. We've forged the blade. We've slain distraction and strengthened the flesh. But now we face the most dangerous enemy of all, the silent assassin, the thief that never sleeps, the enemy that cannot be bargained with. Time. Time does not pause. It does not care. It does not listen to your excuses. Every second you waste is not lost. It is executed. And the blood it spills is your potential. Time is not money. It's blood. People say time is money. They're wrong. You can lose money and make it back. But time, once spent, it is gone forever. Dead. Irrevocable. You don't feel the pain of wasted time today. You feel it 10 years from now when your bones ache, when your window is smaller, when you realize that dream you once had is gone. And it didn't leave with violence. It just faded away while you scrolled. So here's the hard truth. You either command time like a war general, or you become a casualty of your own life. Most people don't manage time. They react to it. You've seen them. Always busy, always overwhelmed, but never building, never achieving, never advancing. They live like servants, responding to emails, putting out fires, scrolling through chaos. Their calendars are full, but their lives are empty. Why? Because they gave up their sword. They let the world plan their day, and the world doesn't care about their goals. Only you do. And if you don't protect your time, you will become a slave to everything that doesn't matter. The warrior general's time strategy. A general doesn't wake up and see how the day goes. He maps it. He plots it. He prioritizes every minute like it's a troop on the battlefield. You must do the same. 1. Win tomorrow tonight. Before you sleep, plan your next day. Not with 100 tasks, just 3 non-negotiable victories. These are your missions, the high-value targets that move your life forward. Write them down. Review them in the morning. No guesswork. No hesitation. Only execution. Example. Write 1,000 words. Train for 45 minutes. Call the mentor you've been avoiding. Everything else is noise. 2. Deep work. Warfare. 90-minute focus blocks. Pick one mission. Set a timer for 90 minutes. Turn off everything. Phone off. Notifications off. No tabs. No interruptions. And then, attack it like a savage. Pure, undistracted, relentless focus. This is where the real work happens. Not in multitasking. Not in chaos. But in the forge of full attention. Get 2 of these blocks a day. You've done more than 90% of the world. 3. Time audit. Know where the leaks are. You can't command what you don't track. So for 3 days, track your time. All of it. Every minute. Write it down or use an app. Be brutally honest. Then analyze. What was productive? What was pointless? What was urgent but meaningless? Find the leaks and plug them with steel. 4. Establish sacred routines. Morning ritual. This is your launch sequence. Wake early. No phone. Move, reflect, and review your missions. Start the day like you mean war. Evening ritual. This is your reset. Review your day. Journal your progress. Plan tomorrow. Then rest like a warrior recovering from battle. Routine is the scaffolding of greatness. Without it, your days will collapse. 5. Use time blocks, not to-do lists. Tasks are not enough. Schedule when they happen. Block out time on your calendar like you're defending a fortress. Because you are. You're defending your destiny. The cost of poor time. Discipline. Let's be clear. If you don't master time, you will look back at your life and feel the deepest, darkest regret a man can feel. The regret of knowing you could have been more, but didn't act in time. You'll see what you lost. The business that never got built. The book that never got written. The strength that never came. The love that faded. The fire that died out. Not because you didn't have time, but because you didn't use it, like a warrior. Final orders for Lesson 5. Tonight, sit with your calendar. Ask yourself, if a warrior were in charge of my life, would my days look like this? If the answer is no, then tomorrow, you change it. You don't wait for motivation. You build the structure. You craft the system. And you wield your time like a sword. Because your future doesn't care about your intentions. It will be built by your actions. Time is the sharpest blade in existence. It cuts whether you use it or not. Use it with purpose, or be cut down by your own inaction. End of Lesson 5. Your battle map is complete. Burn comfort. Build the blade. Slay distraction. Strengthen the body. Command time. Now the real war begins. The fire is lit. The path is clear. No more hiding. No more hoping. Only forward. Only war. Only victory. Welcome to the Grim Face movement, where warriors are born and the weak are left behind. Every morning, the battlefield awaits you. It doesn't care how you slept. It doesn't care if you're tired. It doesn't care if you're scared. The battlefield only has one rule: adapt or die. This is not a game. This is war. And war is not won by wishful thinking. It's won by warriors. Those who are willing to stand when others retreat. Those who move when others freeze. Those who build while others break. In this world, your fate is not written by luck or divine intervention. It's carved by your choices, your habits, your weapons. You want money to flow to you? Then stop asking. Stop begging. Stop waiting. You must become the kind of person money chases. Let the weak wait for breakthroughs. You forge them. Let the masses pray for luck. You craft skill. Let the cowards look for easy paths. You take the hard road, because only that road leads to power. The war begins with a simple truth. Skills are your weapons, not dreams, not affirmations, not potential. Skill, raw, undeniable, ruthless skill. This is what separates the kings from the corpses. And skills must be earned through repetition, through challenge, through obsession. You don't rise by doing what's easy. You rise by solving real problems. Look around. There's chaos everywhere. People drowning in confusion, frustration, inefficiency, and they will pay handsomely for a solution. Your job? Become the one who holds the answers. Learn. Building adapt. Master. Whether it's your hands or your mind, your voice or your vision, refine it until it cuts through noise like a blade through flesh. Become so skilled at what you do, they have no choice but to come to you. And when you solve their pain, money follows like a shadow. But a sharp sword means nothing if you don't control the battlefield. And your battlefield is your money. Take command. Every dollar that leaves your hand must be a soldier marching to a purpose. You do not throw troops into the wind. You deploy them with precision. Most people treat money like water. It leaks, it spills, it disappears. Not you. You track every dollar. You know where your money goes, what it fights for, and how it multiplies. You don't let your income vanish into vices and comfort. You aim it like a sniper shot, toward assets, toward knowledge, toward your legacy. You budget not because you're poor, but because you're a tactician. You build reserves not out of fear, but because a general knows the cost of war. And when others collapse from surprise attacks, unexpected bills, broken cars, job loss, you will still stand, prepared, armed, ready. And to gain this edge, you must rise before the sun. A warrior does not snooze the call to arms. A warrior does not crawl out of bed like a prisoner. A warrior wakes with fire. Before the world screams for your attention, before texts, emails, noise, there is silence. Sacred, strategic. Use it. You train in the dark so you can dominate in the light. In the early hours, you sharpen your mind, your plans, your focus. You journal your intentions. You execute your disciplines. You become a ghost moving ahead while others still sleep. This is when your empire is built, not when the market opens, but when the world still sleeps and you've already taken the first hill. But all the planning means nothing if the soldier is weak inside. And so your greatest duty is to work harder on yourself than on your income. Let this be clear. Money is not your God. It is your mirror. It reflects what you are. If you are undisciplined, you will bleed money. If you are weak, you will chase what you should be attracting. If you are shallow, your wealth will be an illusion, empty and ready to crumble. So you forge the inner weapon, your mind, your will, your focus. You train your thoughts the way a warrior trains a sword. You cut away self-doubt, victimhood, and fear. You build a fortress inside yourself, brick by brick, through reading, through reflection, through sacrifice. You invest in mentors, courses, books, not because it's trendy, but because the knowledge becomes steel in your hands. You grow stronger with each truth you uncover. You shed your old skin with each uncomfortable realization. You don't chase confidence. You earn it through conquest. And when the world tests you, because it will, you will not bend. You will rise. You will adapt. You will conquer. But personal growth alone isn't enough. A warrior must also invest wisely. Every coin you earn is a weapon, and a fool wastes it on glitter and distraction. A warrior multiplies it through investments, through skills, through assets that appreciate, not just entertain. Invest in your health, because a sick warrior dies early. Invest in your network, because a lone wolf starves when the hunt goes wrong. Invest in tools, systems, knowledge, and let every dollar you deploy come back with recruits. You don't invest emotionally. You invest strategically. You move with logic, with foresight, with patience. You study your targets. You calculate the terrain. You do not gamble. You strike with precision. This is how empires rise, brick by brick, asset by asset, discipline by discipline. And every great warrior tracks the war. Relentless daily focus. This is your next command, not monthly, not when you feel like it, daily. Every day you check your progress. Every day you log your wins, your losses, your spending, your income. You don't drift, you dominate. You don't guess, you know. Numbers don't lie, patterns don't lie. You treat your finances like a battlefield. Walk into a war with no map, no plan, no intel. Then why are you living like that? Track every move. And here's the most overlooked edge of all. Learn from the rich and do what they do. You think they got lucky? No. They mastered the code. They leverage. They scale. They delegate. They buy time and build systems. They think in decades, not days. They read more than they post. They buy assets while the sheep buy liabilities. They don't chase paychecks. They build engines. They don't spend emotionally. They invest ruthlessly. So study them. Copy their models. Reverse engineer their empires. And then take it a step further. Add your edge, your grit, your pain, your story. Because one more principle separates the rich from the forgotten. Give more value than anyone expects. Deliver so much value that people feel guilty underpaying you. Over-deliver. Outwork. Outshine. Make your name impossible to forget. Be the one who does more, who solves more, who shows up earlier, leaves later, and crushes expectations into dust. You do this not for applause, but for dominance. Because when you give more than expected, the world opens its doors. People remember you. They recommend you. They rely on you. And your reputation becomes armor that no one can pierce. But don't stop there. Create something people need and will pay for. Your skills are powerful, but if you channel them into something people crave, you'll create your own economy. You'll no longer chase opportunity. You become the opportunity. Don't waste time building for everyone. Build for someone. Solve a specific pain. Serve a specific tribe. And serve them well. Give them tools, services, systems, products that help them win. If you do that, your path becomes unstoppable. And lastly, warrior, push yourself daily to earn and grow more. This isn't about chasing numbers. It's about becoming more. Every single day. You don't stop just because you're tired. You don't pause because you're ahead. You push because warriors must evolve. You lift heavier, think deeper, focus harder, invest smarter. You act even when you don't feel like it, because that is what separates the elite from the average. You don't settle. You don't coast. You hunt. You push every day, because growth is oxygen. You push every day, because the world won't stop. You push every day, because warriors don't wait for fate. They forge it. Lesson 1. Forge the weapon. Master one valuable skill. Skill, raw, undeniable, ruthless skill. This is what separates the kings from the corpses. Objective. Choose one real-world skill that solves a specific problem and commit to mastering it with warrior-level discipline. Why this matters. In the world of warriors, your blade is your skill. You don't bring a butter knife to a battlefield. You forge steel that cuts through chaos. Most people scatter their focus across a dozen half-baked talents and wonder why no one values them. But the warrior goes deep. The warrior becomes dangerous with one tool, one mastery, one edge. The marketplace does not reward dabblers. It rewards dominators. Pick your lane, sharpen your blade, become the one they call when the stakes are high and failure is not an option. Implementation. 1. Identify a real-world problem. Look around you. What frustrates people? What's broken in your industry? What do people complain about in forums, on social media, or in conversation? Find the gap, the pain that needs solving. 2. Choose a skill that solves that problem. Your skill must fix something. Marketing, negotiation, video editing, electrical repair, coding, closing sales, fitness coaching. Whatever it is, make sure it solves a pain point people will pay to end. 3rd block, 90 minutes per day for skill mastery. Create a non-negotiable time slot every single day for learning and practicing. No distractions, no excuses. Study during that block. Practice during that block. Reflect and refine. 4. Follow a warrior-level training path. Don't just kinda learn. Find the best books, mentors, courses, and real-world projects. Your goal is not to know. Your goal is to do. Test yourself weekly. Simulate real-world use. Turn theory into muscle memory. 5th set weekly mini challenges. Each week, create a challenge to push your skill into discomfort. If you're learning sales, record mock pitches. If it's writing, publish an article. If it's design, build something from scratch. Fight resistance with output. Battle-tested tips. Kill the shiny object syndrome. Every time you switch skills, you reset the clock on mastery. Stick to your path until you own it. Create proof of your weapon. Build a portfolio, a body of work, or a results log that shows what you can do. Turn feedback into fuel. Don't get defensive when you're corrected. That's iron sharpening iron. Use it. Commandment of the lesson. Do not wait to become valuable. Become valuable by building the weapon. You want freedom? Then earn it. You want respect? Then forge it. You want wealth? Then solve what others can't. The world does not pay you for effort. It pays you for impact. Forge the weapon. Master it. And wield it without mercy. Lesson 2. Control the battlefield. Take command of your finances. Every dollar that leaves your hand must be a soldier marching to a purpose. Objective. Gain complete control and clarity over your financial life. No more leaks. No more mystery. Every dollar must be tracked, directed, and disciplined with the precision of a battlefield general. Why this matters. The average man is a slave to his money, not because he doesn't earn enough, but because he doesn't command it. A warrior without control over his resources is a warrior destined for collapse. You can have all the ambition in the world, but if your money leaks out through distractions, addictions, and disorganization, you've already lost the war. Control over your money is control over your time, your options, your future. When you track every dollar, you stop hoping for wealth and start building it. Most people never get rich not because they don't work hard, but because their money works against them, not for them. Implementation. 1. Audit the battlefield. Start with a 30-day personal spending audit. Track everything. Rent, food, coffee, apps, subscriptions, vices. Write it all down. Use a spreadsheet, app, or journal. This is recon, intel on your financial weaknesses. 2. Categorize weapons versus wounds. Break every expense into 2 categories. Weapons. Expenses that help you earn, grow, or protect your future. Education, gear, training, savings, investments. Wounds. Expenses that drain you, distract you, or delay your goals. Impulse buys, streaming subscriptions, luxury dopamine hits. Be honest. Most people lie to themselves to protect their comfort. Warriors seek truth, even when it hurts. 3. Create a war budget. Your budget is not a restriction. It's a war map. It tells your troops, dollars, where to go. Every month, give each dollar a mission. X% goes to savings, investing. 10% to essential needs. 10% to growth and self-development. X% to discretionary spending. Keep it tight. 4th, track daily. This is where most people fail. They set a budget and never look at it again. You are not most people. You will track your spending daily. Every night, log what you spent. Review it weekly. Adjust. Refine. Adapt. Money left unmonitored is money lost in the fog of war. 5. Set financial checkpoints. Create 30, 90, and 180-day financial goals. How much will you save? What debts will you reduce? What investment will you start? What income stream will you build? These are your banners in the sand, Each one marks territory you've claimed. Each one is non-negotiable. Battle-tested tips. Cut without emotion. If it doesn't serve your mission, eliminate it. Comfort is the enemy. Starve it. Name your savings goals. Don't just save. Save for your freedom fund, your investment fund, your legacy. Give your goals meaning. Never go blind. If you can't answer, where did your last $100 go? You are not in command. Commandment of the lesson. Every dollar is a soldier. Every purchase is a battle. Every decision is a declaration of war or surrender. You don't drift into wealth. You command it. You don't get out of debt by accident. You strategize your way out. And you don't build a future by hoping it all works out. You take control. You cut waste. You lead from the front. Your finances are not just numbers. They are the blueprint to your freedom or the trap that keeps you chained. So grab your war map, sharpen your discipline, and control the battlefield. Lesson 3. Rise before the world. Command your morning. Before the world screams for your attention, there is silence. Sacred, strategic objective. Take control of your mornings to sharpen your focus, build your momentum, and dominate the day before it even begins. Use the quiet hours before dawn to train, plan, and execute while the rest of the world sleeps in weakness. Why this matters. Your mornings are not just a time of day. They are a weapon. The average person drags themselves out of bed already behind, already reactive, already lost. But the warrior does not begin the day in defense. The warrior starts with intention, with aggression, with clarity. What you do before 8 a.m. will determine what kind of empire you build by 8 p.m. The early hours are sacred ground. No distractions, no noise, no obligations pulling you away from your vision. This is when you build the body, the mind, and the map for war. Success doesn't come to those who wait. It comes to those who rise. Implementation. 1. Wake up. 90 minutes earlier than you do now. No compromise. No snooze button. You are not soft. Set your alarm and rise with purpose. If you currently wake at 7 a.m., your new wake-up time is 5:30 a.m. This is your edge. 2. Build a warrior's morning ritual. Structure is power. Chaos is death. Your morning routine must serve your highest goals. 10 minutes. Mental fortification. Sit in silence. Meditate. Breathe. Journal. Set your intentions. Clear your mental battlefield. Your mind must be clean before you draw your first sword. 20 minutes. Physical activation. Move your body. Stretch. Do bodyweight exercises. Go for a walk. Train. Your body is your armor. Don't let it rust. Sweat early. Think clearly. 30 minutes. Skill sharpening. Read. Study. Practice your craft. Review notes from the day before. This is when you level up. When the rest of the world is still drooling into pillows, you're forging mental dominance. 30 minutes. Strategic planning. Review your financial goals. Look at your calendar. Plan your top 3 priorities for the day. Don't let the day happen to you. You command the day. 3. Prepare the night before. Victory begins the night before. Lay out your clothes. Prepare your journal. Set up your training space. Cut screen time 1 hour before sleep. Set yourself up to win before the sun ever rises. 4. Use alarms for war, not weakness. Your alarm is not your enemy. It's the war horn. When it goes off, you rise. Not in negotiation, not in delay, immediately. Because every time you delay rising, you lose time. And lost time is lost territory. 5. Build the ritual. Protect the ritual. This is not a one-day challenge. This is your foundation. You don't negotiate with your rituals. You protect them. Your morning is your sanctuary. If you lose your morning, you lose the war. Battle-tested tips. Track your wake time for 30 days. Every day you rise early. Log it. This builds accountability. No gaps. No, I'll start tomorrow. Eliminate late-night traps. TikTok, Netflix, texting. These things steal your edge. Replace them with a pre-sleep ritual. Reading, gratitude, planning. Stack your wins. One clean morning fuels the next. Win your morning equals build unstoppable momentum. Commandment of the lesson. If you wake up reactive, you live a life of retreat. If you wake up intentional, you go to war with precision. Every morning you rise early, you prove something to yourself. You are not the average. You are not the herd. You are not waiting for life to get better. You are taking it by the throat. Every minute before sunrise is yours. Your weapon, your time, your advantage. So rise, warrior. While they dream, you build. While they snooze, you sharpen. While they waste, you dominate. Lesson 4. Build the inner fortress. Develop relentless self-discipline. If your habits are garbage, your empire will rot from the inside. Objective. Forge an internal world of unshakable focus, consistency, and mental resilience. Discipline is not a motivational quote. It is the invisible force that either builds your empire or ensures your destruction. Why this matters. Your greatest threat is not out there. It's within you. Your enemy is the voice that says, "You've done enough." The one that whispers, "Take the day off." The one that makes soft choices and calls it self-care. That voice is subtle, seductive, and lethal. You don't lose the war overnight. You lose it in the micro decisions. Every time you choose comfort over commitment. Every time you break a promise to yourself. Your habits are the architecture of your destiny. And if those bricks are cracked, everything collapses. Your health, your money, your reputation, your identity. A warrior doesn't wait for discipline to show up. A warrior builds it, layer by layer, cut by cut, until the mind becomes a fortress, and weakness can no longer breach the gate. Implementation. 1. Choose 3 core discipline habits. These are your daily, non-negotiable actions. Start small, but make them consistent. Examples. Cold shower every morning. Read 10 pages of a personal growth book. No sugar or processed food. Journal nightly before sleep. Complete one difficult task before 9 a.m. You don't skip these. You don't debate them. They become law. 2. Identify one destructive habit and eliminate it ruthlessly. Do you binge watch late at night? Scroll endlessly through social media? Smoke, drink, or eat out of boredom? Pick the one that bleeds your momentum the most and wage war against it. Replace it with something that sharpens you. A workout, a book, cold water, silence. When you remove weakness, you make room for power. 3. Create the warrior ledger. Get a journal or notebook. Call it your warrior ledger. Each day track. Wake up time. Did you complete your 3 daily habits? Did you eliminate the destructive habit? Did you push yourself? Final grade, win or loss. You're not tracking for perfection. You're tracking for accountability. 4. Weekly self-review. Brutal honesty required. Once a week, sit down and review the ledger. Ask, where did I break? What distracted me? What triggered old habits? What will I correct next week? This is how warriors stay sharp. Reflection is the whetstone of discipline. Set a 30-day discipline challenge. For 30 days, Execute your habits like your life depends on it, because it does. Don't negotiate. Don't miss. Don't justify. Track every day, win or lose. This is your crucible. Battle-tested tips. Don't stack too much at once. Discipline is not about doing 100 things. It's about doing 3 things every single day until you can't live without them. Ritualize, don't improvise. Habits that are left to chance will fail. Put them on your calendar. Tie them to existing routines. Use pain as power. Every time you slip, don't shame yourself. Study the failure. Use it. Let the sting fuel your resolve. Commandment of the lesson. You don't rise to your goals. You fall to your discipline. The body may grow tired. The world may get loud. The odds may look impossible. But discipline is what keeps the blade sharp. Even in the storm. It is your code, your structure, your steel backbone when the fire burns out and motivation is dead. Discipline means doing what must be done, especially when you don't feel like it. Comfort kills, and discipline liberates. You want to be different? Then act different. Build the inner fortress, and nothing outside can bring you down. Lesson 5. Deliver value and push daily. Become the one they can't ignore. Over-deliver. Outwork. Outshine. Objective. Commit to giving more value than anyone expects. Every day. Combine that with relentless personal growth and output, and you become impossible to ignore, indispensable in the marketplace, and unstoppable in your mission. Why this matters. The world doesn't pay you for effort. It pays you for impact. You can work hard. You can hustle. But if you're not delivering value, real, measurable, life-changing value, you will always be replaceable, always be ignored, always be underpaid and overlooked. But the warrior gives more. The warrior doesn't just hit targets, he annihilates them. He doesn't wait for orders, he creates outcomes. He becomes so effective, so valuable, so consistent, that people must take notice. In this world, there's a massive shortage of people who do what they say, who show up early, who deliver more than expected, who push themselves beyond their limits without needing applause. You become a force by merging 2 disciplines: extreme value creation, daily relentless growth, implementation. 1. Define your value weapon. What problem do you solve better than 99% of people around you? If you don't know yet, your first task is discovery. If you do know, your next task is refinement. Create a value statement. I help this person, chart group, achieve this result by doing this solution. Examples. I help small business owners attract customers by creating high-converting ads. I help busy professionals lose 10 pounds in 60 days through minimalist meal prep coaching. Your value must be clear, simple, outcome-driven. This becomes your mission. 2. Deliver 10 times the value you're paid for. In every transaction, go beyond. If you're an employee, outperform your job description. If you're a freelancer, add bonuses, insights, extra touches. If you run a business, create customer experiences they rave about. Examples. Add extra resources without being asked. Follow up faster than expected. Anticipate problems before they arise. You're not doing this to burn yourself out. You're doing this to build leverage. Because when you give value consistently, you build reputation equity. And that is currency far more powerful than money. 3. Create a daily growth system. Every day, push forward in 3 areas. Mind, read, study, analyze. 1 new concept per day. Skill, practice and refine. 1 hour per day minimum. Output, Build or create something real. Content, product, pitch, solution. This is how you become rare. Most people learn, but never apply. Most people talk, but never build. You push, daily, without exception. Fourth, track your daily output. Use your warrior ledger or a simple journal. Ask, did I create something today that added value? Did I push past comfort today? Did I improve 1 inch? Small gains daily become legendary results over time. 5. Get feedback. Then apply it ruthlessly. Don't fear critique. Seek it. Ask those you serve. How can I improve? What's one thing I could do better? What didn't meet your expectations? Most people avoid this. That's why they stay average. But the warrior? He refines his edge constantly. No ego, no defensiveness, just raw improvement. Battle-tested tips. Operate like your reputation is your resume. Every client, every project, every interaction. Treat it like it will be reviewed by your future self 10 years from now. Never just meet expectations. Always ask, what's one way I can make this more impactful? Over-delivering builds loyalty. When you make people's lives easier, better, more powerful, they return, they refer, they support your rise. Commandment of the lesson. You become valuable by making others stronger. You become wealthy by solving real problems. You become a legend by showing up and delivering more than anyone ever expected. This is not about being a doormat. This is about dominance. You give more not to be liked, but to build a moat no one can cross. You deliver more to leave no doubt. You push yourself daily, not because someone is watching, but because you are becoming unstoppable. This world pays those who execute. So rise, deliver, building push, and become the one they never forget.